So many things that I want to say. Oh, hey, what's up?
Do you like your girls a little bit older, Mike?
Yes, I do. How did you know that?
I don't know, man. That's one of the best songs ever fucking made, and I'll agree with you.
It really is.
I love it.
Wow, you guys caught me in the middle of an outfield song. We're just talking about best some really good songs.
The outfield. What is that song called? Use Your Love or Lose Your Love, whatever.
It's got to be Lose Your Love.
Whatever, but that's a top. That is a top 5 80s song.
I don't want to lose your love,
for sure. That is a top 5 80s song. That's right up there with In the Air Tonight, Phil Collins. That's my shit too.
Those are good ones.
Yeah,
those are very good. The song In the Air Tonight, strip clubs play them all the time. That song widely played, at least around.
You know what else is an 80s song that's a very big strip club song, at least up here in the Northeast, is that Bon Jovi fucking, what's the Bon Jovi? Oh, you're halfway there.
Oh, Living on a Prayer, huh?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, man. The fucking
What is that?
I don't know,
that about?
Man. Hey, they love that song. They drop their fucking drawers for that one.
Get out of here with that shit.
Yeah, we have a great show. Everybody, we already got people in the comment section in the YouTube comments. Best song ever, Kyle. Big Ben says best song ever. Which one? Air in the Air Tonight.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
Tony said, "How do we know? How do we know?
How do we know what?
What do you think we know?"
Dude, how do you guys know? You know what? Listen, Jimmy the Greek or Anthony the Greek. I don't want to hear your shit, Mr. 99% always right. Get the fuck out of here. Hey, we got a great show for you guys tonight. We got 2 unbelievable guests. We got a champ coming on. We got a former WBA boxing champ coming on. We're going to start off with the Juggernaut, Lorenzo Hunt, and then we're going to follow him up with Austin No Doubt Trout. Lorenzo's already in the waiting room, so why don't we just get through our sponsors real quick. Here's the greatest commercial in the history of commercials.
Norcom Mortgage and Michael Mish are delivering the American dream to those who serve America, helping veterans obtain the dream of home ownership. They offer programs that include no money down, no first-time homebuyer requirement, 100% cash-out refinances, rehab loans. They can help you purchase a home, purchase a condo, refinance an existing mortgage, create a dream home with rehab loan. To learn more, visit www.michaelmish.norcommortgage.com or call 860-884-2103.
To learn more, hit up Mike Mish. I'm telling you, greatest commercial ever made. Thank you to Norcom Mortgage for supporting us. You guys, if you need anything, any loans, any rehab loans, refinances your home, call up Mike. I swear to God, he's one of the best in the business, licensed in 38 states in the United States, including Florida and California and Texas and New York. So all you guys that live out there, don't hesitate to hit up Mike. He'll help you out. And Guerrilla Warfare Apparel, we got the hat, we got the shirts on. These guys take care of us. They take care of a lot of fighters. Shout out to Guerrilla Warfare. Go to guerrillawarfareapparel.com. Use promo code Mike and Mish and get 15% off your purchase. With that said, let's go ahead and get this show on the road. We got the man himself headlining Knucklemania 3 in 10 days, 9 days? How far are we? 9 days away?
Yeah.
Oh, 9 days in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I cannot wait. He is the champ, the cruiserweight, the light heavyweight champ. And he's going to be defending that light heavyweight strap against Mike Richman in Albuquerque. Here he is, the man himself, Lorenzo Hunt. What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys, man? Long time no see. What's up, bro? You look good, man.
Man, it's been a while. Hey, Lorenzo, I don't know when the last time we saw you was. When was this?
I've been working. I think Joe Riggs, maybe maybe a little bit about Quentin Henry, but I don't know, man. Well, I just been guys, and you guys been doing your job. I've been doing my job, so hey, my hat's off.
Everybody's working.
Everybody's working.
Yeah, everybody's working. Lorenzo, man, and we thank you for coming on tonight. I know you're down in Puerto Rico. You guys are an hour ahead of us. We're still on that daylight savings bullshit up in the Northeast, and I fucking hate it. But thank you very much for coming on. I know that you are dead and smack, like towards the end of your camp now. You're 9 days out from this huge fight. let's talk about this a little bit, man. You probably are the most pulverizing figure in all of BKFC. I would say you personality wise and what you do to guys inside the ring. You have drummed up a lot of rivalries in your career so far inside the BKFC with your 9-1 record and all your knockouts. But this one seems to be hitting a little harder as far as animosity goes. How would you compare what you got going on with Mike Richman right now compared to like what you had going with Hector and Joe Riggs and Quentin Henry?
I don't know. Remember, we talked about this after Elbow fight. I didn't even think nobody was foolish enough to make this fight happen. I was more frustrated in the fact that, you know, some guy in a lower class was talking to me and I might never get this. Turns out I got to smack him in the mouth. So, you know,
Hey, Lorenzo.
I don't really have...
We're losing you. You're really breaking up pretty bad right now. I don't know if there's a Wi-Fi or another area that you could get to.
Man, I had pretty good signal a second ago.
Oh, right there, you sounded crystal clear. Can you hear us?
Right now?
No, well, you hear us fine. Yeah, for a second there, you were crystal clear. But while you were getting into that with now, I think what you were trying to say is that, like, at the beginning, you were kind of dismissive of it because of the size discrepancy. And I know right off the jump, you were saying he's not big enough for you. And this is a publicity stunt. And if he wants to get smacked, he can come get smacked. Did you really think that this fight was ever going to be made?
I never thought nobody, especially Mike, would be stupid enough to sign up to fight me. Call me out, maybe make a post, yeah. Say it in an interview, sure. But actually fight me? Bro, it's got to be crazy. So I was just like, whatever. I had a whole list of guys to beat up. And so I just continued to beat them up, not thinking anything about Mike Richman. Then lo and behold, Knucklemania 3, main event. Come on, you know, I'm the Juggernaut. I'm going to do what I do. I don't have any real animosity towards Mike Richman. He's a nobody to me. He's no Hector Lombard. He's no Joe Riggs. He's no Quentin Henry. I'm just going to do my job and then move on to the next one. People may feel some way about that, but they always do. My fights come and everybody says, but, and then it's over and nobody has nothing to say. So whatever, Mike Richman fans, see you in a couple of days.
You know, I'm pretty sure that we almost called this to the T back in June, like June 20-something. You guys were on this show. And I said, well, you know, if Quentin Henry's orbital's okay, why don't you go fight Quentin? Mike, you go fight Francisco Ricci, I thought at the time is who he would go fight. I said, you guys both go win those fights and you meet up next February at Knucklemania 3. And you guys were both co-signing on that one, stamping it right there. We were pretty damn close that night, right?
Almost like you guys are running the show. I'm okay with that because, you know, we also called that I would be the double world champ in a year. And now we're calling that I'm going to be the first 3-seed champ because whoever wins out of Arnold Adams and Belcher, bro, I've got to get it. I want it. I've got to get it. If Mike Richman can come to 85 and fight for the belt, I can go to heavyweight. Like, everybody can do what they want to do. Palomino can go and jump weight classes and that win can fight for any weight class he wants to. Hey, let the Juggernaut in. I'm coming in. After I smack Mike Richman, I will be at Arnold Adams' fight, and I will be getting in his face about this 3-seed champ ordeal.
Goddamn. So that is definite. After this fight, you're going to go over to New Orleans and you're going to be there for those fights.
I'm going to New Orleans. I'm going to New Orleans and I'm going to start a riot.
Okay.
And you know I'm not joking. I don't joke.
This will be the third party you crash to drum up another fight.
I'm trying to find a parachute so I can come in like they did in the Mike Tyson fight.
Yes.
Maybe we can arrange that.
Yeah, maybe we can get the Mississippi Guard to come fly you over there, and you can jump down out of one of our birds.
Yeah, air assault.
Undertaker.
Oh man, well, I got to tell you right now, the build up to this fight has been really something, and it is drummed up so much fucking talk across all of combat sports, not just BK. Like, you got the MMAfighting.com talking about it, you got MMA Junkie covering it, you got ESPN, you got all these big outlets, you got Ariel Helwani talking about it. This is huge for the sport of bare knuckle. You've been there since the jump. You are about to fight your 11th BK bare knuckle fight, 10th with the company. Talk a little bit about your progression since you took your loss to Gustavo Trujillo. You're on a 7-fight win streak and you're knocking everybody out. And it just seems like at this point in your life and your career, you're 40 years old and you're better than ever. You're in the best shape of your life. It seems like you're really starting to master and mold this game a certain way. Am I right about that? Are you still growing? Are you getting better? Are you better than ever right now at this time in your career?
Yes, I am. I say, like, it's a 40-year-old me hold 20-year-old me under thumb, and it was one of the strongest kids you ever want to meet. But I've gotten wiser. I've gotten sharper over time. That sharpness comes out as speed. It comes out as accuracy. It comes out as true strength. It comes out as mental strength. It comes out as moral strength. It comes out as juggernaut. I am more than anyone understands. And everyone will underestimate me.
Yeah, I was afraid that was going to happen. It's getting a little crazy. And after he was done talking there, I was going to say, like, hey, we're gonna see if he can find a new spot to go to while he's talking to us, because it's getting way too crazy. And I believe, like, if I can't hear him through the headset, it's probably extremely hard to hear for the people watching the show. And we definitely want everything he says to be clear as day so everybody can follow along with the entire story, because this story is incredible. When we were at that Hollywood card, would you say it was last June, and they got into that confrontation face to face, and you recorded that and posted it, that thing blew up. And I didn't even know that those two guys had beef, but you were showing me that post earlier today where Lorenzo Hunt was interviewing Mike Richman for Bare Knuckle News, and he wrote, like, hey, remember this post in the future when I beat Mike Richman. And then Richman was in the comments talking shit back to him, like, let's get it done. Then they encountered each other, and that shit blew up. And so many people in the comments of that video thought that that was all fake. They're like, oh, that's all fake. That's bullshit. They're drumming up the fight, this and that. And it's like, you want to just take all these people and, like, shake them and be like, hey, listen, dude, we're there. We're the ones who recorded this. Like, I try to tell people about it. That wasn't fake. Like, these guys are in each other's faces. They do not like each other. Let's that's the name of the game.
Let's bring him back in and see if we have a better connection.
Sorry about that. I moved around a little bit, so we get a little bit better signal.
There.
Oh, way better.
Way better.
I'll just give you guys a quick overview of my, like I said, my rise to power. I was super cool before the loss to Trujillo. I kind of, like, just took I'm a boxer. I'm pretty good. I'm a striker. When I fought the Trujillo fight, a few things went wrong. I let the promotion control my footwear. I let the guy who made my mouthpiece talk me into wearing a double guard like a football player. And I dropped my hand when I threw a right hand. After that cut to my lip off of a slip, I just changed completely. And it's like somebody said, there are no rules. The referee was scared. He stopped the fight. He called it a doctor's stoppage. It became apparent to me that nobody knows what the hell they're doing. We got people who telling us we should be having on boxing shoes, but it's not a boxing ring. We got people who the referees call the fight a doctor stoppage. You're not a doctor. You got people. This is a new sport. It dawned on me there are no rules. So when I came back, it is what it is. Whatever happens in there happens. I don't care. I've done enough to walk away. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Now, when you see I let it all go, you see what happened. I picked my trajectory and I ran them guys over because I already knew I was better than them. I'm better than Trujillo. Trujillo got one punch in 40 seconds and never came back. He doesn't want to fight me. I'm the double world champ. If he came back, he wouldn't have nowhere to go. He doesn't have a home here, so he's hiding. I'm okay with that.
Why do you think people hang on that so much? There's so many champions, right? And if you go back in all these champions, you can go to anywhere. Just look at any organization and their champions. They've got some losses on their records, right? Yep. Nobody goes back all the time and just reads like, oh, that one name that they fought way back then, and then they won 20 fights or whatever. Like you're not the champ unless you beat that guy that beat you all the way back then. Like how? I don't understand that.
Because we have a culture full of people that are comfortable hating. It's in the Bible. It's like Cain and Abel. He hated his brother just because of his sacrifice, because he worked hard. So it wouldn't matter if I had 100 fights. Some hater somewhere would be like, but remember that one time? Because that's all you have in your life. You know, and then get dressed, put your Walmart smock on, take your ass in there and say hi to everybody as they walk out the door while I live the life I want to live. I'm perfectly fine with that. You know, that's the only thing you got to hang on. Other than that, like I said, this thing with Mike Richman, it wasn't fake. It was organic as hell. Anybody with a half a brain could see that I was totally surprised that this idiot would approach me at a press conference. Me? I'm not camera shy. He lucky I didn't slap him off the stage. Only reason I didn't was because Feldman was right there. I would have had a 2-for-1, and I don't want to slap the boss. I think Dave can fight.
Yeah. Hey, what happened when you guys went off the back of dude, I got to tell you this. Hold on, before you say that my fucking heart stopped for a second there because I was like, oh no, what if he just what if somebody just blew their shoulder out? What if something really bad just happened? Thank God it didn't, but that scared me for a minute there.
I'm not a pretend athlete. I didn't even fall. There's another video. The lady caught it from the side. When the guy grabbed me, he fell. I landed on my feet. That's why when Mike Richman jumped down, he jumped his ass right back up because he saw it didn't fall. I was standing back there. Everybody else was on the ground. Dave fell. The security guy fell. And Mike Richman's asshole little brother fell. As soon as I leaped back up on the stage, you can see his little brother jump back into the crowd. And you can see Mike Richman pretending to throw a chair. You know what I mean? Like these guys, like I said against Henry, you've been sold so much sugar that you wouldn't know real if it smacked you in the fucking face. He still thinks I'm pretending to be an ass kicker. I'm pretending to be the baddest man in the world in bare knuckle. Okay, let that lie get your ass whooped. I'm okay with that. Next, you know, I don't think that Mike Richman is skillless. I don't think that. I just think he's out of his fucking mind if he thinks that he's a match for me. Even saying, when he comes to 185, he's going to be weak. Is that your hope? Would you bet your life? Would you bet your life that I'm going to be weak at 185? Because that's what he's doing.
Does it piss you off when people constantly bring up the weight thing? Because you clarified this for us a few times on this show about like when you fought Hector, you never weighed 185 for that belt, and you clarified that it wasn't supposed to be for that belt, and then
contracted weight.
Right. Oh, did we lose him again?
Oh boy.
Oh man.
Contracted weight.
There you go.
There he is.
People will not leave me alone. I weighed. Listen to me very carefully. I weighed the contracted weight. I've never missed weight ever, and I don't make the contracts.
All right, and
so you got guys that are UFC buffs and wrestling fans from high school, and they want to say, but the weight, but they want to be haters. Like I said, they want to make up shit. They want to make up excuses. And they're going to say, but if you move the one and you dot the I, then maybe he's not really a champion. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Mike Richman's making a horrible mistake. Even in signing a contract to fight me. I always like to point out these guys' strategical errors. Listen, check this strategical error out. Even in signing a contract to fight me, even if I don't make weight, you still gotta fight me. I'll beat your ass and vacate the belt. I never wanted it anyway, dummy. Now you got your ass beat. Now you got nowhere to go. And you, what happened? Stupid. That was stupid. And I'm gonna make weight. So it don't even matter. Like, it's stupid. That was dumb. Just think about it.
Oh, God, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for this fight. It's
so stupid. You made a big mental error in thinking, but I'm going to tell you my honest truth. I think Mike Richman was promised the belt that I would vacate it. And that's the only reason he started talking shit to me, because he thought I was vacating when I got the 205 belt. But he should have kept his fucking mouth closed. Duh. Because I was planning to go to heavyweight. And if Dave had offered me the heavyweight title, I would have vacated. And Mike Richman could have been the champ. But no, he had to run his mouth. So guess what, guys? I have a little treat for you. Did I look like somebody who's gonna miss weight?
Are you on weight right? Like, are you close to on weight right now?
Yes,
10
I
days
am.
out?
Yes, I am.
Well.
Yeah.
This is
So I say, my hat's off to you schemers and to you dreamers and to you people who think you can manipulate and scandal your way to become a champion. That's not how it's done. And if you want to know how it's done, watch how I did it. Hard work, perseverance, no friends, climb the ladder, nothing easy. Take it on the fucking lip and come back even stronger.
Lorenzo, when did that switch flip for you? Because we met you at Knucklemania 1, and I feel like you were slightly different, and at some point shortly after that, not too long, maybe Josh Dyer right after that, you flipped a switch, and you've been a totally different fighter and personality since then. Like, you've just shot up. What happened that really made you just say, you know what, fuck this?
I've not been a different fighter. I've not been a different fighter at all. I'm a good fighter. I'm just a good fighter. But I will say the frustration with Hector Lombard, me having to go to Hector Lombard's gym, me having to fight 2 title eliminators, me getting pushed out of the way by some rich, spoiled guy. Hector Lombard telling me to my face, I don't have to fucking fight you. I'm Hector Lombard. You're nobody. I don't have to fight you. I went to his gym after I beat Josh Dyer. I was the #1 contender for a year. How did Joe Riggs even get a title fight? Who was Joe Riggs when I was 6-1? Who was Joe Riggs? Hector was 3-0, and Joe Riggs was 3-1. How did I get passed over? If you pay attention, I'll answer your question very clearly. I changed when he hit me. Okay. When I got in the ring and he hit me in my face, everything changed. Hector Lombard didn't get in trouble for that, so why should I get in trouble? Right. Hector Lombard punched me in the fucking face on TV and didn't even get a slap on the wrist. I'll tear this bitch up. You want to be an idiot? I can show you. We can have a dummy contest and whoa, holy shit. I can bug out. Hector didn't get in trouble for punching me in the face. Right?
No, he didn't.
So in other words, you were sick and tired of the treatment of the no name, like anybody can do anything to me, jump the line, slap me in the face.
Was the best. Did you see what I did to Josh Dyer?
Punch me rather. Yeah.
That's every channel. Look at me and Josh Dyer fight, and look at Joe Riggs and Hector Lombard fight. Two totally different classes. But they're fighting for a title, and I've been waiting around for a title since we were told that there wouldn't be any titles unless there was a tournament. Then all of a sudden, there's 5 title fights in one night, and my name and I didn't make the cut. And I was already the #1 contender in 2 weight classes.
Yep. That doesn't make any sense. It still don't make any sense to this day.
Yeah, so why not change? Why not change? Why not become something different? Why not give them what they want? Evidently, I was too nice. You ever had a pretty girl tell you you're too nice? You know what that'll do to you?
Oh yeah.
All right. So
broke out the savage on him.
And I'm not nice at all. This ain't gonna be nice at all. Weigh-ins ain't gonna be nice at all. The fight ain't gonna be nice at all. Ain't nothing gonna be nice about what's about to happen over the next 10 days. Not nothing. I don't gotta be nice. Like I said, I'm not a school teacher or a politician or none of that shit. I don't work at McDonald's. Service with a smile. I don't gotta be nice to nobody. I'm going in there. I fight for money. That's when it changed.
That was a great question, Mike. And Lorenzo, you definitely clarified that. But now here you are headlining the biggest card they've ever put on in one of the biggest fight cities in the world. 9,000 plus are going to be there to see you do what you got to do that night with Mike Richman. We took up enough of your time tonight. You've said a lot. You got us fired up. I cannot wait for next week cannot come soon enough. We will be there Wednesday. We'll see you at the press conference, weigh-ins, all that shit. We'll be right there with you. Any final words? Go ahead.
Let me give a shout out to BKFC. Wow. You guys are watching this shit? I was watching YouTube, watching cartoons with the kids the other day, and the commercials started popping up on YouTube. Knucklemania, main event, Lorenzo Hunt, David Feldman, and Dave Jr., and all those guys over at BKFC are fucking killing it. I'm proud to be a part of this company. I'm proud to be a part of this show. Whatever I had to go through to get there, I'm sure it couldn't have been no harder than what David Feldman had to go through to get this shit legalized and get the respect of everybody that he was going through. So in retrospect, it all made me stronger. I like to give a shout out to Mike and Mish. Like you said, you guys been pumping it out super hard. I like to give a shout out to my sponsors. Knockout Canada been sticking it out with me. Veteran Farms. Oh my God, them guys look out for me. They're the shit. They got great products, great CBD products, great shit for my hands and everything. You know, I'm out here punching trees. We got Guerrilla Warfare been looking out for me. We got Ricky from First Round Management, bro. These guys, I got a mean team. We got Miranda Renee from AEW doing her thing. She's killing it. She's always helping me, always loving on me, always making sure I got everything I need. I mean, I'm on top for a reason. I'm the champ for a reason, and it's mostly because of my sponsors.
They're keeping you going, bro.
It's a good thing.
They're keeping me going.
All right, man. Well, you are you're one of the best in the game.
Nice to you guys. You guys have always showed me love. Give a shout out to the veterans. www.juggernauthunt.com for the National Alliance to End Veteran Suicide. Make your donations. Leave your comments. Show love. For my post at the Juggernaut Hunt on Instagram. You guys, come on, man. I'm gonna put on an amazing show for you. I'm gonna show you some shit you've never seen before. You'll never forget it. And I'm going down in history as one of the best bare knuckle fighters ever.
Awesome.
All right, man. Thank you so much for that. One of the best in the game, in and outside the ring. We will see you in a week, Lorenzo.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Mish.
All right.
Later, man. Thank you.
Later. Oh, man. I'm going to tell you right now, like, I am so damn hyped up for that fight. And he's one of the best promoters in the game too. He's one of the best self-promoters they have on the roster for sure. He does the job in the ring, but when he's not in the ring, he is hustling outside the ring to build his brand, to get better, to keep growing the sport. Shout out to Lorenzo. Thank you very much for coming on.
Well, real quick before we get Austin Trout on here, I just want to say, if you go back, whether you like Lorenzo Hunt or not, if you go back, like I said, to Knucklemania 1 and him fighting and his walkout and everything, he's always been entertaining to a point. But when that switch flipped, he totally changed. And you can see his trajectory. I mean, you can go back and you can see his trajectory. And, okay, and Knucklemania 2 came along, and BKFC 18, what he talked about when he ran up on the stage, right? Was that BKFC 18? Well, now he's headlining Knucklemania 3. And there are a multitude of fantastic fighters on this card. It's huge. I just love to see a homegrown bare knuckle fighter be able to rise to be the cream of the crop now. And we're seeing that pretty much across the board. But I was always wondering when it was going to happen. And Lorenzo was pretty much like the first guy who just cracked that code and just...
He did it, man.
He really did, and I love it.
And he's fighting a killer next week, and we're gonna have that guy tomorrow. We're gonna have Mike Richman on tomorrow night to talk about his side of that fight. But we have another guest in the guest room right now. We're gonna bring him in here. Thank you for waiting, Austin. We got Austin, no doubt Trout, who's gonna be fighting Diego the Nightmare Sanchez. It is UFC legend versus boxing. New Mexico boxing legend, WBA champion, multiple-time world title contender, one of the best in the game in boxing, 36-5. This dude is the man, and he's going to go show out in front of his people against Diego Sanchez next week at Knucklemania 3. He is Austin, no doubt, Trout. What's going on, man?
What's happening, y'all? I appreciate y'all having me.
Hey.
Welcome to the show. I'm Mish. That's Mike. This is the Mike and Mish show, and we appreciate you giving us some time here, man.
Nah, thanks for having me, man. I was listening to Lorenzo, and he's right. This card is about to be bananas. It's going to be a great fight, from top to bottom. Honestly, I don't think my fight's going to be so great. It's going to be a little one-sided, but nonetheless, it's going to be high action for however long it lasts.
We're going to talk about that in a second. Now, were you a fan of bare knuckle fighting before David Feldman and them guys got a hold of you and offered you a fight for their promotion? Were you a fan of it?
No, I was definitely paying attention. I was telling them, I was just talking about the Juggernaut and about Luis Palomino, and I was like, they got some fighters, and then Mike Perry jumped in, and I watched quite a few of the fights, and before nice. It was presented that I could be fighting, so. I liked what they had going, and seeing how it's just growing, and like you said, the trajectory of it, it's gonna be something big, I think.
Did you seek them out, or did they seek you out?
They seeked me out, and it was shout out to my brother, Renalo Management, Nelson Lopez. Yeah, he's the one who got in touch with me, and he's like, "Would you do it?" I'm like, "Would I?" Who do they want to fight? Diego, bet. Let's do that.
Yeah, that's awesome because you guys are both from not far away from each other. Yeah. So, but you're boxing East MMA. So
yeah, and I live about 2.5 hours from Albuquerque.
Nice.
south.
Hey, you know what? Shout out to Nelson. Before we continue with you, quick Austin, this is a quick story. When me and him were just down at BKFC 35 in Myrtle Beach, somebody on this show lost the key to the rental car, right? And after about eight Uber cars, first time ever, we had to make it to a flight the next day. And you know who we got a hold of? We called up and said, "Hey, you think you can pick us up at the hotel?" Yeah, Nelson was the man. He scooped us right up.
He'll always come through for you in the time of need. That's for sure.
He even got lost on the way twice, I think. And he still didn't just say, "You know what, guys, you're on your own, call an Uber." He just drove around. We saw him drive past us twice. We were like, this guy, he's lost from the stupid GPS, but he still kept on trying to find us. And
talk about a hassle, guys. Come on.
Yeah, I know, right? We appreciate
couple of stew nods, you know?
Yeah, Mike, that was on you, buddy.
Yeah, no, it's all Kyle's fault, really.
I've been there before. I can't judge. I've been there before.
Man, there's a whole story to that thing, and we won't get into it right now. But, dude, you said something right when we started talking here that, you know, this event's going to be amazing, and you don't think your fight might not be the most exciting because you're going to get it over with quick. You're fighting Diego the Nightmare Sanchez. Everybody knows him. First ever Ultimate Fighter winner, 20-year veteran in the UFC. The guy's been there and done everything. He's, you know, one of the most, what do you want to call him? Grinding fighters. He's just a grinder. He goes in there, he gets in dirty, bloody wars. Yeah. Now, obviously, you're expecting him to, you know, rush in on you and try to keep it in the clinch. You still think, just curious, do you think that you could keep him at a distance and do exactly what you want as the level boxer that you are, or are you going to have problems with him, you know, bulldogging his way in there and trying to make it dirty?
So here's the deal. I believe I can keep him on the outside. That's the plan. Why make it harder than it has to be? I have longer arms, I'm faster, my footwork is impeccable compared to his. But at the same time, this whole camp has been us getting ready to be comfortable in a tight situation. So if he does by chance make it inside, that's fine too. I'll be ready for that. And that's why I said, you know, as long as it's gonna be entertaining for however long it lasts. But if you look at all the fighters that he's fought, you know, none of them have had the handset that I had or the footwork. And again, this is not MMA. He keeps saying that it's not boxing. I'm like, it's not an MMA either. You know what I mean? You can't kick, you can't take down. He needs all those tools. I don't. What BKFC did was it just opened up more tools for me to use with the clinching, the holding, the dirty boxing, the head control. Like, we as boxers, we kind of practice that shit on the low. Right. But now I've been in camp able to just go in, you know, and you know, I'm a pretty good dirty boxer if I say so myself.
Well, that's awesome, because there's a whole lot of dirty boxing, as you've probably noticed. There's
a whole lot
in bare knuckle fighting.
And we'll be ready for that. We'll fight him inside and out. If he stays on the outside, God bless him. That's not going to be good for him. If he makes his way on the inside, God bless him. That ain't going to be good for him.
Yeah, there are some boxers that have had success inside the squared circle, but up to this point, if you were like keeping track of the score, the MMA fighters are the ones that have been excelling percentage-wise. They're the majority of the champions and all that. Do you have any experience like with wrestling before this camp?
No,
or anything like that?
Not really, but you know, I do have experience in street fighting, so that kind of helps. And I ain't never hurt my hands outside of a glove, and in fact, I've never been cut or, you know, bruised up really without the glove. But again, this camp has opened up a lot of skills that I feel like will be very helpful, not just in, you know, the BKFC, but in boxing too.
Austin, this fight is at 165 pounds, correct?
Correct.
All right, that just answered somebody in the audience was asking. I knew that it was 165. I just want to double check.
Yeah, 165. Mind you, I had never fought.
Right. I was just gonna say
165. This is a weight class I've never touched or been at. I think he was crying because he wanted at 175, and he said that I turned it down, but they never even presented 175 to me. And honestly, I probably would have, because again, this is still out of my range. He'll probably be the bigger man, but that's cool. I'll be the faster, skillful, stronger guy.
So you go in there at 165 next week with Diego, and say you do come out with a pretty comfortable win, and you like what you got going on there. Is this something that you want to stick around with and seek out, or are we going right back to boxing?
Oh no, I'm definitely trying to seek out and take it to as far as I can. Not saying I'm giving up boxing. I got good rankings in the boxing world, and I'm trying to get a title. I would love to be a 2-division, 2-sport world champion.
Has it ever been done?
I don't know, but I'm gonna do it.
Now, the 165-pound division that you're entering here, if that's going to be your home, or maybe 155 would probably be
155 would be more like it. But again, let's look at the landscape. 65 got some good names. Yeah. 55 does too. Oh, yeah. So, we'll see how it feels coming with Diego in this debut.
I love this, and I'll tell you right now, Mike and I were at the first Albuquerque card back in, when was that, August, Mike?
Yes.
For the BKFC. I gotta tell you, man, I fell in love with that area. Like we were going around. So what we do we go around, we do marketing. We'll hit up every bar, every restaurant, every gym. We'll go all over the place and just preach BK gospel to everybody. And they already fucking knew. They all knew. Yeah. Everybody knew everything. We were like, this is the best town ever. Like, we just
New Mexico's full of scrappers, man. I'm telling you. They like to fight. And I think it's great, or they used to anyway. I think they shoot them now, but yeah, they used to. But we used to be full of scrappers, and so I knew that this BKFC would be a hit down in Albuquerque, New Mexico, period. But Albuquerque especially, they're a little rough around the edges. They like that shit, man.
Man, yeah, it's a great city, and I'm glad they moved it to a bigger arena this time, because the card that you guys are headlining, this card is fantastic, top to bottom. They got a bunch of killers, a bunch of warriors that really pour it out there every time they go out, and this thing is going to be amazing. Now, have you brought in, just curious, like to prepare yourself for Diego, have you brought in any like MMA fighters, anybody that has a past with Diego that can give you a few pointers on his approach on his to get on the inside with you?
Yes, I have. I've been in at the gym I train at, Main Street boxing here in Houston downtown. It's Main Street Muay Thai Jiu-Jitsu, and so the gym has a lot of MMA guys, some wrestlers. We got jiu-jitsu, we got Muay Thai, we got grapplers. We have just really a pick of the litter. Derek Lewis trains at that gym. Kevin Holland trains in that gym. So I was working with Jacob Berry and Colton England, and and also Paul Garza. Those 3 guys, better hands than Diego, for sure, but also have strong wrestling games. So we did a lot of in the ring, in the cage as well, a lot of clinching, a lot of, just stand-up wrestling, kind of holding, pushing, holding, punching. Worked on some underhooks and things like that. Just controlling the body with the arm and what they call sticky hands. I like that. I'm real good at that sticky hands. We've been training. I've been training with some killers, and Diego, I feel like he thinks I'm taking this lightly, and that's kind of the attitude I get. He's talking shit, and he's like, oh, he thinks he's the overdog, but I'm gonna come and this, you ain't gonna do shit, bro. You're gonna try, but you will fail, and I'm not taking nothing lightly. I know you're a dog, and you're gonna take that ass whooping until you can't give it anymore. So I'm working to be able to give an ass whooping for 10 minutes straight on full blast.
Why do you think he gets so mad when they say that you're from Albuquerque?
Because I represented New Mexico way better than he did during my career.
I see. Because I noticed that.
He's trying
he's trying to shoot the credibility of my New Mexicanness. I'm like, man, look, I was born in El Paso, brought straight over. My mother was in the Army. Like, what do you want?
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah. So Fort Bliss is where I was born, but she was stationed in White Sands. So like, as soon as I was let out the hospital, I was brought right over to New Mexico.
You were never in the military yourself, were you?
No.
Okay.
Shout out to all that served. Thank you for your service. But yeah, that's one thing he wants to make a point. Really born in El Paso. If you know anything about Texas, Texas don't claim El Paso. They say that they're part of New Mexico. You feel me?
Yeah.
And so I'm so New Mexican. And if you compare the two, my man Diego pretty much went to high school in New Mexico. You know, he was raised here. But as soon as he won that contender shit, he was gone. He bounced out. He never looked back. The only time he came back is when his weird guru daddy trainer like dropped him or got rid of something like that. That's the only time he came back on a low. I was during the height of my career. I was in New Mexico the whole time, rapping, paying that gross receipt tax, all that. He don't know nothing about that.
Hey, what do you think about the negativity from some media outlets about them making this fight with you and Diego? Not on your end, on Diego's end.
Yeah.
A lot of people out there are saying that Diego shouldn't be fighting anymore. He's taking too many shots to the head. His time has run out. I watched some dude on YouTube. He had a channel. This guy did a straight up like 4-minute video, just straight up shitting on this fight. And saying that it's irresponsible by BKFC. They should not be doing this to Diego. They're serving him up. And what do you have to say to the people out there that have that mind state?
Well, first and foremost, we want both fighters to walk away healthy and happy. And when I was presented with the fight, I did voice concerns like, well, make sure he passes all the tests that he needs to, you know what I mean? And New Mexico, the commission, they actually did make him go through some extra testing, which I was all for. And he ended up passing them. And honestly, he seems like he's training harder than I've seen him train in years, which is great. That means he'll be ready to give us a good show. You know, I wouldn't expect anything less.
I will say this. I'll say this. At your guys' press conference, when he was up on stage and Mike and Lorenzo got into their thing, when it was his turn to talk, I was actually like amazed at how clear he was speaking. Like he sounded better than he sounded in years.
In a while, yeah.
Yeah. He sounded dialed in, like real, like his words weren't jumbled. Like
Right.
Everything was very clear with me. Like, and from what I was hearing, and I was like, man, fucking good to hear him like that.
Yeah,
right?
it's like,
this
all
is
right,
nice.
Diego.
I like this. I like it, man.
And so, yes, there was concern about that, but as far as now, as far as I'm concerned, the fights a go. I can't worry about none of that. It's either him or me, and if it comes to some weird point, I'm not looking for that. But if there's some point where I have my way, then I can be choosy with how I dismantle him. You know what I mean? And you know, like I said, we all want to go home happy. And honestly, I don't think he could take body shots like that anyway. So that's what we're going to focus on to save his, you know, future CTE and also to get him out of there. Because I know he can take a headshot. So what's the point of beating him up in the head?
Right. But you know what? A lot of people don't realize the guy that I was just talking about that had the 4-minute long video just shitting on it. He started the video off by saying, let me start off by saying I don't cover bare knuckle fighting. So he doesn't know shit about the sport.
Yeah. Yes. Look at the science of it.
Look into it, and there's much less trauma to the head there. You're not landing as many punches because you're not wearing gloves. The fucking number is lower. For the fights end quicker. It's gloved boxing,
cosmetic damage that'll get you.
The cosmetic damage throws everybody off, but the gloved boxing, you take many more shots to the head per fight. You know what I mean?
And not to mention it's you know, it's blunt force trauma. It's not a sharp shot like with the fist. It's one quick sharp shot, go down.
Right.
With the glove, it's bigger. It's a little more weight. It's more of a clubbing. Like I said, blunt force trauma. You'll have people more so out on their feet. Getting hit more times, they may survive that where they should have gone down, and then it happens again 2-3 times before they even go down. So it's really the shots after the one shot that hurts you that really hurts you. That's when people hit their head, it really screws them up. It's that after shot. So the soft tissue damage, that's a little bit more likely to get hurt, but that's only, like you said, that's just cosmetic. That's only skin deep.
Right.
And I don't cut up that easy either. So
that shit heals pretty quick too. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's perfectly okay. That's
it's kind of wild how fast the cuts heal. I've seen some crazy cuts. I mean, we all have seen some really crazy cuts in this sport. And you'll see the fighter posting on Facebook like 4 days later, and the stitches are out, and it looks like the whole cuts. And you're like, I could see your skull 4 days ago.
Saying the body's amazing,
It's wild.
And this BKFC, I think it's feeding the people something that they've been missing. We got what they deem as toxic masculinity. But what is really happening is they're just killing masculinity, period. Nobody gets in a fight no more. We just argue and we go to what? I don't know, the lawyers. We sue people in courts now. And for men, it's one of those things where, tough men make good times. Good times make weak men. Weak men make tough times. And I think we're in the circle of the weak men making the tough times. So this BKFC is just feeding people something that they're just missing, like that carnal, I don't know what to call it, because even the women, they get in. They get in, and the women love it. It's not even just for men. Like, it's this toxic masculinity is being deprived through women too. Like, the women, they want some real shit to happen already.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we just had
Charisse waiting for the men to do it,
We had Charisse Sagala and Jamie Hinshaw on last week. And them two. Now, Jamie, we've only seen in the squared circle one time, and she just came out like a bat out of hell and just never stopped swinging until the friggin' match was over and overwhelmed her opponent. But we've seen Charisse Sagala. I mean, she don't stop. She's
5-round wars every time.
5-round war every single time, and she'll, even if she's getting her ass kicked, she's bleeding, she's got cuts, she's got bruises and bumps. She walks to the corner, smile from ear to ear. It's crazy.
How can someone love that? It takes a certain individual to be excited about this. And I am one of them, because I am excited about this fight.
Hell yeah.
My wife, my mother, they're nervous. My children, they're not too excited. But I keep telling them, like, I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to do this. And they're like, really? That's the opposite of what I would be feeling if I had to go do this.
You just brought up your wife. I was, when we were doing some research, I came across a little fact, which I thought was kind of funny, because my wife watches this show, Say Yes to the Dress.
Yeah.
Right. So how did that whole thing happen? So when your wife was your fiance, she went on Say Yes to the Dress.
Yeah. And drug me on there to ignore my suggestions. I know. You go watch the episode. I'm like, I like this, show that body, what I'm saying? Her, my grandmother, my mother, it was just her, my grandmother, my cousin. They both looked at me and was like, boy, bye. Anyway.
Why are you here?
Why are you even here? Right, exactly.
Man,
but
that's funny.
Yeah, it was a real cool experience. My wife, she wrote in and was like, hey, my husband is a WBA world champion. We're about to get married. You should put me on the show. Because she loved that show.
Yeah.
And then they accepted us. And I was in New York for some other things, I think with BET. I was doing in fact, I'm just going through memory lane. Sorry, y'all. But in fact, I was on BET. It was called The Man Cave, and it was like me, Mike Tyson, B.Y. Jennings, another fighter, and we're just talking about who would win in the fight. It was actually pretty cool.
That's awesome.
So we covered up that with the Say Yes to the Dress. It was kind of a hit. They liked it. And I think they liked it because I got punked by every woman in there. You know what I mean? My grandmother was like, and I'm just like,
watch what happens to this boxing champion.
Yeah, exactly.
Surrounded by women.
Surrounded. That's how I was raised too, by women, just punking me. Right. And it's just so happened that it was such a hit that they came for the wedding. They did the follow-up wedding episode.
Nice.
And they got, the reception, they got the I do's, they got my grandmother walking down because she was on there twice now.
Yeah.
But and it's like it's a beautiful story. It sounds bad, but it's a beautiful story. My grandmother died at my wedding. And they got that episode, and it's so like, and they aired it too. So they got to, they showed my grandmother in like her last moments, and she was happy. She was hella happy, surrounded by friends and family. It was beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Was she sick, or was it like
She
all
had
of a
heart
sudden
problems,
thing?
and to keep it a buck, she was supposed to die. Well, he's dying, he's supposed to die. She was in a coma like a month before the wedding. When I fought Canelo in April. My grandmother went in a coma 2 weeks before I fought Canelo. And it's crazy because that was actually saving her life, because she probably would have died watching me fight Canelo. It was a close fight, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And she got out of the coma. She got cleared to come to the wedding. She came, she traveled. She didn't want no wheelchair. She had a little walker.
Yeah.
And she was at the rehearsal dinner. Like she did everything. And afterwards, hindsight's 2020. That's what she wanted. She made it to the wedding, watched me see my ideas, was like, all right, that's good enough for me. I'm good. And she passed. So, my marriage means, for me, it's bigger than me. My ancestor made it her dying wish to be there. So my wife is super stuck with me now.
Wow. That's an incredible story, man. Holy cow.
Yeah, and like I said, it was beautiful. I'm Jewish, so we believe that the final moments that you have in this world are just as important as the beginning. Like, what were you doing? Who was there? And she had her family and friends, and she got to see me, become more of a man.
Wow.
And she was supposed to have a good talk with my sister afterwards. I'm just sad she didn't get to. My sister could have used that. But other than that,
she could have used her wise words.
She could have used that good talk. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, man, that's incredible. That's an incredible story. I don't know if.
So shout out to Say Yes to the Dress. They documented a very important time in my life, not just my marriage, but the passing of my beloved grandmother.
Salute to your grandmother.
Thanks for sharing that with us.
That's amazing. Yeah. Wow. You mentioned somebody during that story a little while back. You mentioned hanging with Mike Tyson and doing that show. Yeah. Had you ever hung with Mike Tyson before? Are you guys buddies?
I like to think so. Yeah. Let me tell it. Me and Tyson, we're the best buds. Shoot, but actually, I have his number. I would never use it.
No,
for what? How you doing, Mr. Tyson? I didn't want nothing. You just.
Man, you know what? I would love for him to just come to one of these BKFC events, sit ringside.
I think he would love it.
Yeah,
I think he would endorse it. I'm gonna ask, because I am friends with his brother-in-law. I would tell me and him are friends. I would say, shout out to Oz. I'm gonna see if he's down to come. I think he would love that.
Man,
but
this would be the one to get him to. I'm telling you.
This is the one. So I have hung out with Tyson in another stance. It wasn't before that BET situation. It was probably like a couple years later in Las Vegas. One of the best times I ever had. Man, Tyson was telling me stories about how he fought Frank Bruno and how Tupac died, at that fight. Well, it was not at the fight, but it was that Vegas trip. Yep. And I'm sitting there looking at him. I was like, bro, this is iconic. He's talking about Pac, and that was his best friend, one of his best friends, and he talked about how he punched Don King and kicked him twice because you wouldn't give him $30 million. He's like, give me $30 million right now. And Don's like, no. And he punched him in the face, kicked him on the floor. He's like, give me my $30 million. Don's like, okay, but you got to fight. And Tyson's like, fine, took his money and bounced out because Don kept, screwing him over.
Wow.
Just amazing stories of some iconic stuff. And this was right before he had that one-man show. So I got to hear some of those stories before he put it out on stage. And I was sitting there like, bro, this is a highlight of my life. Iron Mike Tyson.
I can't even imagine.
That one-man show, I feel like, was the beginning of him propelling back to the level of fame that he had before. Because, he fell off for a while. He came back. And then he kind of disappeared for a long time. I mean, not disappeared, but in the limelight, he wasn't really out there. But then he started doing that, and then he did some podcasts. He did Rogan.
He did the Hangover movie. The
He did the Hangover movie.
It's huge for him.
And now he's got hot boxing.
Yeah,
hot boxing.
I'm trying to get on there, Mike. You ain't brought me on yet, Mike. I would say I'm a cannabis connoisseur myself. So
that should be the show.
I'll let your boy
get on it.
Have you gotten yourself a bag of Mike's Bites, the edible ears that look like?
No, but I am a fan of Tyson's Ranch.
Oh man, that's amazing. You got some great stories. I feel like we could do this all night. But you are also fighting a bare knuckle fight to add to your legacy next week.
Add to the stories, and this is going to be one hell of a story to tell.
Right.
Listen, kids, about how the time I dispatched the UFC New Mexico legend, and I did it fairly easy. And the people are going to be like, gosh, I knew he was going to win, but not like that. Who can we get to deal with this guy?
I can't wait. I can't wait to see it, man. And especially like if you do want to stick around in 155 is more your speed. You're absolutely
55.
Right. You're absolutely, you're the type of guy, you're the level fighter that could go fight Luis Palomino. You know what I mean?
I think so.
You could go fight him.
Who else is going to have hands like that to give him problems? And I think I do.
You know what the BKFC can do is to really fuck with the audience is, have you ever seen a guy named Martin Smash Brown?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think they would get... Sure. If you guys wore the same color shorts, nobody would know who the fuck's hitting who. You guys kind of got the same style with the what do you call it? The Philly shell. You got
yeah.
You guys kind of do the same. You guys kind of hold the arm down, load the shoulder roll. It would be funny as fuck, actually.
Yeah,
and we love Martin Brown. That's our boy.
No, Brown. Yeah, one of them cats. He's doing amazing right now. Whoever it is.
Yeah, that'd be freaking great, man. We're gonna do something with you before we let you go. We love the fact you came on here. We can't wait to meet you in person next week. You should call Tyson and tell him to come to the fight.
I'm gonna call everybody I can and see if that can work.
Yeah, we're gonna throw your social media at the bottom there. Everybody follow him up. Use his referral code if you want to get the app. I don't know if you got tickets already, but there might be some tickets available. There's 9,000 plus seats, and they're probably going to sell them all. So
they're going fast. I'm not sure there's much left, but if you watch me on TV, go ahead and use that link right there. bareknuckle.tv/trout. Make sure you use it.
Before you go, we usually play a little fun game with our guests on here, have a little fun. What we like to do, which you did perfectly, is like get to know the fighter on a more personal level than just talking technique. You know what I mean? Thank you very much for opening up about a lot of the stuff you did. We're going to play a game with you called No Doubt or No Thanks. And all we're going to do is Mike and I are each going to say some statements, and you're going to say, yeah, no doubt if you agree with it, or no thanks if get the fuck out of here with that shit. All right.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So
and I got a question for y'all too. It's a stumper.
Oh, okay.
Oh, boy. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do it. It may not be appropriate for this platform. Never mind.
Number one, Philadelphia Eagles beat the Kansas City Chiefs this weekend at Super Bowl 57. Is that a no doubt or a no thanks?
That's a no doubt.
No doubt. Are you steadfast on that? And why?
I'm gonna stand on it, man. Philly's defense is like that.
There you go, man. But and you know what? And Mahomes, you don't know how healthy he is with that ankle. You never.
I don't know. Yeah, that's if they don't have Mahomes, they got nothing.
Yeah, absolutely good answer there. Number two, Mike.
A Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather 2 pay-per-view.
Like, is it going to happen?
No doubt or no thanks?
Yeah, I say no doubt. He's doing exhibitions. Conor is over there barking up. You know, he's doing a lot of barking right now. Like he's begging for something they need. Yeah, I think it'll happen. I mean, for me, no thanks. I don't care for it. But I think it'll happen.
There you go.
That's the answer early.
Yeah, but I don't care for it. I would definitely not pay for it.
That's a no thanks.
No thanks.
Everybody. There you go. Number three, Ryan Garcia will beat Gervonta Davis on April 15th. No doubt
thanks.
Or no thanks.
That's not happening.
No thanks?
No thanks.
I don't think
how
it's
does that
happen
fight go?
either.
Tank is a listen. I trained with Tank down in DC for a few years, and I've seen what that little mother. I seen what this kid can do. Ryan Garcia got fast hands, and he hits pretty hard. But I don't think that he hits harder than some of the light heavyweights that I've seen Tank dismantle. I'm over here looking at Barry like, yo, why is he in there with the light heavyweight? And they're like, watch. Watch. Tank is just a dog, and that's what it's going to come down to. Who got the dog in him? And Tank got that dog. No shade to Ryan. He got all the skills in the world. I just don't think he got that dog in him. Not like Tank, especially.
I think Tank said he's going to smack him and his manager the same night.
And he probably will too. He's a man of his word.
There you go. That's a no thanks.
No, that ain't happening. No thanks.
All right, number 4.
Francis Ngannou will beat one of these big names in a boxing match. So Tyson Fury.
No.
Deontay Wilder.
Maybe.
Anthony Joshua.
Yes.
Ooh.
Okay.
I think he'll beat Joshua. Wilder, that's a flip. That's, because they both hit hard as hell. You know? Tyson Fury, if he's not cheating, he's going to be someone that we're going to talk about for a long time as far as heavyweights go. One of the greatest, maybe greatest of all time, if he's not cheating. Because how are you that big, that fast, that slick, and that strong? It's crazy.
He's incredible. And like the second fight with Deontay Wilder, like I know the first fight, both of those fights were amazing, but I feel like in the second one, even more than the first one, he just proved that he's like many levels above. Many levels above. Like Deontay Wilder didn't even really belong in there with him at that point. Yeah, that dude's incredible. What about his brother? You think his brother beats Jake Paul? Bonus question.
Does Tommy Fury beat Jake Paul? No thanks.
No. All right. We get a lot of no thanks out of no doubt. That's what I'm saying. All right.
I think Jake Paul's gonna beat Fury. And if it ain't like for real, I think it might be in the contract.
You know what? Let me ask you this. Being the boxer that you are, one of the highest level boxers that are out there, when you look at Jake Paul, what's your honest opinion about him? As far as a boxer, and then also what he's doing for the sport.
Yeah, I love it. I feel like boxing is blessed that he chose boxing, because he really could have done anything. He could have done tennis and jumped into he could have done tennis and jumped into the tennis world and had exhibitions and made millions if he wanted to, because he's done the work as far as marketing himself and building that brand and all that good stuff. But he chose boxing. Because of that, he's bringing millions of eyes that would have never watched boxing. People that are Jake Paul fans are usually not like boxing fans, and so he's bringing a whole demographic of people, and which is great because it involves the youth. And that's what we lost a lot of to UFC. A lot of our youth went to watching MMA and stopped watching boxing, and Jake Paul's getting them back interested again.
He's bringing back.
It's a
boxing's got to figure out something. They got to change or they're gonna die. I think they've been relying on the longevity of the sport for so long. We got history, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But if we don't evolve, I think it's gonna fail. And Jake Paul is not only trying to evolve the sport, but he's evolving the sport that benefits the fighters more. I fought with Jake Paul.
Yep. Love him or hate him, he's doing good things.
They can hate him if they want, but I'll fight on a Jake Paul card, and I would probably get paid pretty good too.
Hell yeah, dude, that's a great answer. Great answer. Last one for you. You win your fight, Knucklemania 3 via knockout.
No diggity, no doubt, baby.
That was like kind of softballing that up there because we knew what your answer was going to be. Man, fantastic.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Great answers. Great interview. Thank you very much for coming on here. We are looking forward to this fight next week with you and Diego. Diego will be on the show tomorrow night with Mike Richman. So Mike Richman will be on tomorrow to talk about Lorenzo.
Yeah.
Diego will be on talk a little bit about your fight.
He's gonna be weird. Tell him shut up. Shut up. Your guru got you off like that, but that's okay. I'm gonna give him a good retirement party next week.
Okay.
All right. Is that those your final words? Then we're going to give you a second to deliver one final message if you want.
All praise to the Most High. Without him, we wouldn't be here. I'm looking to change, to correct my desires from one of reception to one of bestowal. And I'm going to bestow this ass whooping to Diego, February 17th. Y'all tune in. Make sure you don't miss it. It's my debut. It's going to be one of many.
There it is.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for coming on here. Mike, you got anything else for Austin?
I can't wait to see you guys next week. That card is going to be insane. Everything
Crazy.
leading up to it. That all next week is going to be awesome. You're going to love it.
All right, y'all. Have a good one, man.
Thanks a lot.
Take
Have
it
a
easy.
Good night. See ya. Austin, no doubt Trout. Dude, that was a fucking great interview.
Yeah, that was fun. That was funny. He opened up, and you get to know that's the best thing. We get to learn about these fighters and what they do. And we're always talking to bare knuckle fighters, but the thing about bare knuckle fighters is none of these people are originally bare knuckle fighters. They're all fucking from all different places.
Right.
Boxing, kickboxing, MMA. It's awesome to hear that guy, man. He's done a lot. I know he mentioned Canelo earlier, but whoever's watching this right now and sees this, go and look at this guy's record. Look at all the people that he has fought. Yeah,
watch the Miguel Cotto fight. He's the fucking man, dude. And
yes,
he's got a very impressive wins. He's 36-5 as a pro fighter, and he's held world titles. He's challenged for world titles.
He's fought
his first loss on his record was to Canelo.
Yeah,
I think he was like 22 or 23-0 when he fought Canelo.
Insane.
And unbelievable fighter, unbelievable record, and a really cool guy. We just got to meet him there. Thank you to him, and thank you for Juggernaut coming on here tonight.
Yeah.
What's funny is I brought up the daylight savings thing, and I texted Lorenzo the other day, and I said, hey, you want to come on Wednesday at 9 p.m.? And he was like, 9 p.m. That's 10 p.m. in Puerto Rico, and I'm sleeping at that time. And I'm like, really? I'm like, well, we're still on daylight savings time, and our show is at 9, and we'd really appreciate it if you just gave us a fucking 20 minutes of your time the week before the fight.
Mish,
and
huh?
and he was like, yeah, no doubt about it, no doubt.
This was like the 14th time he's been on the show or something like.
I think it's the 12th time.
12th time.
Yep, 12 times.
And then all the other interviews that has happened outside of the show.
Dude, in 179 episodes of this show, he's been on 12 of them.
Yeah,
that's a decent percentage, right? I don't know. I don't really know math very well, but
that's the hustle that he has. He just always wants to come on and do things, and he's just always doing something. The guy's always doing. If he's not fighting, he's doing something. So
he can cut a promo, and you know what? Austin Trout just showed us that he can cut a promo and talk some shit too. That's fucking awesome. And those are two high level, amazing fighters that are going to be putting it out there next week against the two guys that we will have on tomorrow night. Everybody, make sure you're tuned in tomorrow night when we talk to the other half of the main event, Mike the Marine Richman. We're going to get his final thoughts 1 week out from fighting Lorenzo. And then we're going to talk to Diego the Nightmare Sanchez, the UFC Hall of Famer, the first ever Ultimate Fighter. I cannot believe
first ever. Not Forrest Griffin.
Yeah, I cannot believe, like, honest to God.
Diego Sanchez.
Yes,
it was the same night, but
right. It was. He went first. Never in a million years did I think that one day I'd be interviewing Diego Sanchez. Fucking way. Never. And we're going to get his thoughts and hear what he has to say going in there against Austin, no doubt Trout next week, representing Albuquerque. He's fired up for this. Like I said, he sounds very clear-headed. He sounds ultra focused. And I was impressed by him in the fighter spotlight that BKFC posted. The promos leading up to this, the press conference that they already had, everything he said and everything that's come out of his mouth so far has sounded great. And I can't wait to talk to him tomorrow night.
Oh my God, it's gonna be awesome. As Joe Ivy said, do not forget to like and share, everyone. Thank you, Joe Ivy, always looking out for us because we're students and we always forget to tell people that.
Yeah, we literally never ever say that, and we suck at that.
Always forgetting.
Yep. Do us a favor. Tell all your friends to follow the YouTube channel as well. Hit up Guerrilla Warfare. Use our promo code Mike and Mish. Get 15% off your purchases. Buy some of their stuff. Like Lorenzo said, they help him out. They help us out. They help a lot of fighters out, but they also got really dope gear. And hit up Mike Mish for all your mortgage needs and all your loan problems. Hit up Mike with Norcom Mortgage. With that said, I don't think we have anything else to talk about tonight, right, Mike?
No, let's save it for tomorrow. We will be talking to, like we just said, damn friggin' Diego Sanchez. Can you believe this? It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait for this. And the Marine, he's coming on. I know we're repeating it, but it's a very exciting couple of days here. And I cannot wait for that show tomorrow. And I can't wait to get to Albuquerque and be there for the friggin' fights. Can't wait to see you all tomorrow in the comments section. Kyle, peace everyone.